Now on CoastTV News.
Fire service strained the challenges for first responders in Sussex County that are highlighted in an upcoming report. Airport upgrades, we look at the plans scheduled for review today in Georgetown.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Elisa Weber and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. We're going to be taking a live look outside at Milford this morning, and our first alert meteorologist Bob Trahey is going to be joining us. Bob, it almost looks cloudy on our camera, not because of clouds, but because some of that smoke coming from those Canadian wildfires, if I'm correct.
That's right, Elisa. Yeah, usually the sky is blue, but it definitely has that white complexion. And we're looking at our visible satellite. Usually when it's clear, it's black, but you can see the shades of white. That is the smoke that's in place all across Delmarva now back towards the D.C. area. Then that smoke also extends back into the Tennessee Valley and into the Midwest as well. So we're seeing this flow of smoke coming from the Midwest, and we're looking at that smoke continuing as we go into the afternoon as we have high pressure over the top of us. I think we're going to see that smoke mainly staying aloft as we go through the day, so it really shouldn't be a health problem. 72 in Gumboro, 72 in Dagsboro, Georgetown 74, as is Milton, Redden 75, 75 in Rehoboth right now, so even milder at the coast as we're looking at a northwesterly breeze, so there is a little breeze mixing up the atmosphere, so the air quality is okay. It's not perfect. We'll be seeing a lot of this smoke aloft as we go into the afternoon. Look at this red color, and that pretty much moves right over the top of us. A spectacular sunset, but if you do have health issues, it's probably a good idea to stay inside, just to err on the side of caution, because we could be looking at some of this smoke maybe dropping down, but I think for the most part it's staying in the upper layers of the atmosphere. Otherwise, lots of sunshine. We're to the low 80s away from the coast this afternoon, 70s at the beaches. I'll have much more on the smoke and the rising temperatures, feeling like summer big time as we go through the week ahead. Your full forecast details a little bit later in the newscast.
Thank you, Bob. And our top story this morning is the visibility issues that Bob just talked about coming from those Canadian wildfires. This is what people in Saskatchewan are experiencing. There are over 10 active wildfires in that province. Officials say firefighters from across Canada are helping to fight the flames. And states like North Dakota, Michigan, and Illinois telling residents to pay attention to air quality. Minnesota issued a red alert quality for Monday evening. And the Delaware Division of Motor Vehicles is warning locals about a new scam that's targeting people through text messages. This is what that message looks like. It says the recipient has an unpaid traffic violation and tells them to click a link to avoid losing their driving privileges. The DMV says it's designed to steal personal and financial information. The DMV says it will never contact customers by text or email to demand payment for traffic or toll violations. Everyone is encouraged to delete those messages and do not click on any links. And the Lewis Police Department is warning locals about a scam going around. According to officials, scammers are impersonating police officers to solicit money. Police say they will never ask for your banking details or demand payment over the phone. And to stay safe, always verify who you're speaking with before sharing any personal information. An update this morning on a study into the financial readiness of Sussex County's volunteer fire service. A presentation from officials is expected at today's Sussex County meeting. In a previous report given to the council, the consulting firm says the study looked at revenue, expenditures, and other challenges like infrastructure and volunteerism. That report says finances are varied.
There are departments that have, no debt, significant reserves, and then there are companies that are really living hand to mouth.
Fire departments will have a chance to review that draft findings, and the Sussex County Council is currently meeting this morning. Also at that Sussex County Council meeting, upgrade plans continue for the Delaware Coastal Airport in Georgetown. According to the Airport Advisory Committee, they are looking at a new parallel taxiway. Officials will discuss an FAA Airport Improvement Program grant and construction bids. Proposed cuts to a federal agency could hit close to home on Virginia's eastern shore. Billions of dollars could be slashed from NASA's budget. President Trump's proposed budget includes cuts to several funding programs. Funding for sounding rockets could be cut by more than 50%. And there is no future funding for a balloon project. Those two programs play a big role at Wallops Island in terms of jobs and tourism.
Don't know what the federal government's going to do. I'm hoping that they're not extreme, and I hope that people here are not affected by it. But if they are, we're going to have to figure out other things to do.
Trump's proposed budget does include an additional $650 million for human space exploration. On Monday night, the Ocean City Council voted to approve new regulations aimed at limiting the size and placement of tents and canopies on the beach. The town says the new rules will take effect immediately. Baby tents are still allowed, but all other tents and untented canopies set up before 10 a.m. will be banned. All other tents and unoccupied canopies, as well as the rules, also include they require at least 3 feet of space between canopies and prohibit anchors or stakes that extend beyond the canopy's edge. Russian and Ukrainian delegates met in Istanbul on Monday for a second set of direct peace talks. But as the attempts at diplomacy continue, so does the fighting. CNN's Reed Binion shows us how the attacks from Russia could impact peace.
A brilliant operation was conducted on the enemy's territory against military targets only.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky speaking about a bold surprise attack on Russian air bases Sunday.
Against equipment that was used to deliver strikes on Ukraine. Russia has had very tangible losses, and justifiably so, as they deserved it.
Ukrainian officials said 41 Russian aircraft were hit, including strategic bombers. It's not clear how many were taken completely out of action. The attacks targeted airfields deep inside Russia, the farthest one roughly 2,800 miles from its border with Ukraine. Ukrainian officials said operatives smuggled the drones into Russia, where they were then hidden in mobile wooden sheds and launched once they were near the targets. Russian officials downplayed the attacks, saying some strikes were repelled, but several pieces of aircraft caught fire after attacks in other areas. It came just a day before Russian and Ukrainian delegates met in Istanbul for their second set of direct peace talks. The talks started late, lasted just over an hour, and ended with no major breakthrough. They agreed to work on a new prisoner exchange, but statements from both sides suggested little was achieved to bridge the large gap between their positions, especially regarding a ceasefire. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Coming up after the break, potential parking options in Dewey Beach, a solution from town officials now moving forward to deal with the challenges of finding a spot for your car. Some new parking options may be on the way to Dewey Beach. Town commissioners recently approved a conditional use application that will allow for a new public parking facility on the bay side of town at the former location of the Ivy restaurant. And local workers we spoke with say more parking is well needed.
Even just these past few weeks, it seems like there's more people coming in compared to last summer, and we definitely do need to add some more parking in.
Dewey Beach's parking season is underway. Officials recently approved an increased rate of $4 per hour, and that season ends on September 15th. New in Sussex County, some of the smallest hands are making a big impact, one crayon at a time. On your screen right now are kindergarten and first grade students at Sussex Academy Elementary who collected nearly 113 pounds of used crayons for the Crayon Initiative. That's a nonprofit that recycles crayons into new ones for children in hospitals across the country. The kids helped weigh, sort, and organize the crayons by color while learning math, science, and the value of helping others.
It's hard to tell. We have sunny skies out there because of the smoky skies in Cambridge right now, 73, and warming into the upper 70s, close to 80 degrees, as we're looking at summer-like warmth and humidity after the smoke. And we'll be talking about more in the way of the smoke and the warm-up coming up in a little bit. Call the CoastTV First Alert Weather Phone. Your forecast just a call away. Sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. I'll have much more on this smoky and warm forecast coming up in my full forecast after the break. The two big weather stories on this Tuesday is the smoke and also the warming temperatures. We'll begin with the smoke. Look at the sky. It says white right now in Laurel on the Tyndall's Casual Furniture camera. That's all that smoke aloft from the Canadian wildfires. Even though we have the smoke, I think we will warm into the low 80s for inland spots. And we're tracking that smoke as we go into the afternoon. Here's 1 p.m. You can see on the legend up here in the orange and red color, that is high amounts of smoke. Now, it's staying mainly aloft. We don't think it's going to come down to the surface and smell like smoke or limit visibility. That's why the air quality is still pretty good. But if you suffer from health problems, it's good to stay inside, not only today, but tomorrow. Stay in filtered air or air conditioning. As we're seeing this smoke coming through, it'll make for a beautiful sunset tonight. And we're still seeing some pretty good amounts of smoke even as we go into Wednesday morning. Then we see this bluish color moving in. That's less smoke as we go into Wednesday for parts of Delaware. But then from Ocean View east of Salisbury farther south, we're still in some of that thick smoke. And it looks like it kind of wants to work to the north as we go into Wednesday evening. So this smoke will be hanging around for a couple of days. The other big story is a warmth building in as we have a Bermuda high setup, which is a clockwise flow around that high. The wind's coming in out of the southwest with a surge of warmth. It's going to turn muggy. Will we see our first 90-degree day? It's possible, but I think we're mainly staying in the 80s. You can see on the visible satellite picture how we have the smoke in place across Delmarva, across I-95, and it's really across much of the area east of the Mississippi, across the Tennessee Valley. We've also got the smoke here, too, into the Great Lakes. To the west of that, it's big showers and thunderstorms on the edge of this ridge of high pressure that's over the top of us right now. And this will slowly move offshore, and that's when we'll start to increase the heat and humidity, which is building back to our west right now. Temperatures warming up nicely, 75 Millsboro and Milton, 74 in Georgetown, Bethany Beach at 75, and the winds, well, coming in out of the west, bit of an offshore flow, a little variable along the coast, but you'll be mild there as well. As we go into the afternoon, I think many beach locations into the 70s, 81 in Millsboro, 82 in Georgetown around 4 p.m., but around 72 in Rehoboth. Otherwise, a mild evening and a smoky one at that. We're looking at clear skies overnight with temperatures tomorrow morning in the 50s and 60s, much warmer tomorrow afternoon, mid-80s from Salisbury to Millsboro with 60s and 70s at the coast, and still a little on the smoky side. As we go into Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we increase the clouds. It'll be a little milder with temperatures in the 60s, and I'm thinking mid to upper 80s on Thursday. This model is going a little bit below that in the low to mid 80s, but I think it's going to be plenty warm and muggy. In fact, we're looking at the humidity levels rising, not so much today, but then we get into the muggy range Wednesday, and then by the end of the week into the weekend, humid to almost very humid. And it's Saturday that we have a chance of seeing some showers and thunderstorms as a front is nearby. I think we're dry on Sunday, and then as we go into Monday, maybe a more significant system comes in, bringing us heavier rain, and by that time we'll probably need a good dousing of rain. 82 in Georgetown today, 81 in Millsboro with the hazy, smoky conditions, 74 in Rehoboth, and for the Eastern Shore, Cambridge 81, Vienna 82, Federalsburg 82, and Salisbury 82 for you. Around 79 in Crisfield, 80 in Chincoteague, and 79 in Ocean City with the smoky skies. Paul, they have a 7-day forecast, mid-80s Wednesday, I think less in the way of smoke, and then more clouds than smoke on Thursday, 87, dry and warm Friday. Some showers and thunderstorms possible on Saturday, 84. A little cooler and drier Sunday, 79, and maybe a more important rainy system on Monday and a high of 78.
Thank you, Bob. Coming up tonight on DSN at 6:30, it's Bayside Soccer. First, it's the girls' All-Star Game. Then at 8:30, tune in for the boys' All-Star Game, and you can catch the final score at 10:30. And here's what's coming up this afternoon on Coast Life at 4.
We hope you're having a good day so far, Coast Life, but we want you to tune in at 4 and see why we're going to be chatting about America Let's Roll, an awesome way to give back to the community.
Plus, we live in a place that people love to come to for vacation, so we're going to ask the big question. Staycation or vacation? It's this week's great debate.
Can't go a Tuesday without it. All of that fun and more is coming up today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
The Salisbury Police Department is now hiring, and there's a big incentive for those looking to join their team. The department is recruiting communications officers and offering a $10,000 sign-on bonus while positions remain open. That goes along with comprehensive benefits package, including paid leave, medical and dental coverage, tuition assistance, state retirement, and even an on-site gym. If you're a teenager looking for a summer challenge, the Millsboro Police Department has the opportunity for you. The Millsboro PD Youth Academy runs from July 10th to the 18th from 8 a.m. to 3:30 at the Police Department on West Railroad Avenue. Participants will build leadership skills, boost confidence, and learn how to work as a team under pressure, all while getting stronger and faster. To join, people can register online. Coming up, Brew for a Better Life, why a new study links coffee habits to women living longer. Middle-aged women with a regular coffee habit could be setting themselves up to live longer and healthier. A study looked at women in their 50s who drank 1 to 3 cups of caffeinated coffee a day. It found they were more likely to reach older age free from major chronic diseases and with good cognitive, physical, and mental health. Researchers also acknowledged factors such as lifestyle and dietary effects in that study. New in Worcester County, the health department is offering free help to quit smoking or vaping. Classes are both open to adults and youth. Sessions will start in late June and early July and are held in Snow Hill, Pocomoke, Berlin, and online. Organizers say trained instructors will guide you through stress management, communication skills, relapse prevention, and how to build your own quit plan. People can register for this event online.
We're seeing hazy, smoky skies right now in Ocean View. That continues the rest of the day as temperatures rise through the 70s, lower 80s inland areas. We will start to improve the smoke by Wednesday as temperatures continue to rise, and so does the humidity. Here is today's umbrella winner. It's Jerry Pirong from Milton. Congratulations, Jerry. From Paul Davis and Coast TV, your toasty 10-day forecast is next. Okay, conditions continue this afternoon. If you suffer from respiratory problems, it's best to stay inside in filtered air the next couple of days. Otherwise, it's sunshine and lower 80s this afternoon. 70s at the beaches, around 82 this afternoon. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 85 Wednesday, 87 on Thursday. More in the way of clouds and more clouds too on Friday, 86. Looks like a chance of showers and storms Saturday, 84. Cooler and drier Sunday. Maybe a more important system Monday with rain and 78, and then it's back into the 80s beginning next Tuesday.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Midday. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Don't forget to join us for Coast TV News at 5 later this afternoon. Have a great day.